Go to the river and fetch water from the village stream.
Aunt, please. Today is the forbidden day. The elders warned everyone. No one is allowed to go to the village stream. They said spirits rise from the water. People who go there hardly come out alive.
And how is that my business, you foolish girl? We fear cook food for this house. Will spirits sweep the floor? Pick that pot and go. And listen carefully. If you come back late, no food for you tonight.
How dare you come into the Forbidden River? Are you not afraid, child?
Please, my stepmother sent me here. I begged her not to send me. I told her today's forbidden, but she refused to listen.
Humans always lie when they are afraid. Every year, one of your kind disobeys the warning. Every year, the river must take a life.
I am not lying. I have no mother. She died when I was small. My stepmother hates me. She gives me the hardest work and little food. If I return without water, she would starve me.
Long ago, in a small village surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth, there lived a girl named Adama. They said her name meant beautiful daughter, and truly, she was. But beauty does not always bring happiness. Adama's mother died when she was still very small, so small that she could barely remember her mother's face. Some said her mother's spirit followed her everywhere. Some said the gods were jealous of such beauty and took her mother away. Her father was a poor farmer. He tried his best. He worked under the hot sun, planting yams and cassava just so his daughter would not sleep hungry. But loneliness is a heavy load for a man. So he remarried. The woman he married was named Neka. At first, Neka smiled sweetly. She spoke softly. She pretended to care for Adama, but inside her heart, jealousy grew like wild weeds. Later, Neka gave birth to her own daughters. They were not as beautiful as Adama, and as the years passed, Adama grew into a stunning young girl. Her skin shone like fresh palm oil under the sun. Her hair was thick and dark like the night sky. Her eyes were deep, full of sadness no child should carry. And that was when Neka's hatred began. From the moment she could walk, from the moment Adama could walk properly, she stopped being a child. She became a maid in her father's house. She woke before the cock crowed. She fetched water from the stream while the morning mist still covered the land. She scrubbed the floors with her bare hands until her fingers became rough and cracked. She washed clothes, pounded yams, and carried firewood bigger than her small body. Yet, she was never thanked. If a plate broke, it was Adama's fault. If the soup burned, it was Adama's fault. If the goats escaped, it was Adama's fault. One evening, Neka beat her for spilling just a cup of water. "You are a curse," Neka shouted, striking her with a wooden spoon. "Since your father died, my life has known no peace." Adama fell to the floor, trembling. Her father, yes, her poor father had died suddenly after a long sickness, and he left her behind in the hands of the woman who hated her most. Since that day, Neka's cruelty grew worse. One quiet night, Adama sat outside their hut. The moon was full and bright. She looked up at it and whispered, "Papa, why did you leave me? Why did you leave me with this wicked woman?" Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I wish I had followed you." Just then, "Adama, Adama, useless girl." Her heart jumped. Neka was awake. Quickly she wiped her tears and ran inside. "Yes, Mama," she said softly. Neka sat in the center of the hut, a wrapper tied tightly around her waist. Her face was hard like stone. In her hand was a thick wooden spoon. "Did I not tell you to fetch firewood before I woke up?" she asked in a cold voice. Adama swallowed. "Mama, I was sweeping the compound and—" "Pa!" A heavy slap landed on her cheek. "You were sweeping?" Neka mocked. "Will I cook the clean floor? Will I boil sand for soup?" "I'm sorry, Mama. I will go now," Adama whispered. Neka grabbed her chin roughly. "Look at you," she hissed. "Fair like an Oyibo, long legs, small waist, beauty that brings me nothing. Tears fell quietly down Adama's face. Stop calling me mama, Neka snapped. You are not my daughter. If not for what the villagers will say, I would have thrown you into the evil forest long ago. The evil forest. Everyone in the village feared it. They said spirits lived there, dark spirits that swallowed those who entered. Adama trembled. You should have died with your father, Neka spat. You eat my food and breathe my air. Despite our suffering, Adama remained kind. She shared a little food with beggars. She helped old women carry loads. She smiled at the children who mocked her torn clothes. Her beauty was not only in her face, it was in her heart. Adama set out that morning. Everyone in the village knew Adama. She was not only beautiful, but humble, hardworking, and respectful. As she tied the bundle of firewood and began her journey home, a handsome man asked why what her name was. What Adama did not know was that someone had been watching from a distance. Ngozi, her stepsister. Ngozi's heart burned like dry grass touched by fire. Not once had any man ever stopped to ask her name. Not once had anyone admired her the way they admired Adama. Jealousy wrapped around her heart like a snake. So Adama now thinks she is better than me? Ngozi hissed inwardly. While I stay in my father's house, she is busy using her beauty to attract men. I will not allow it. Never. Without waiting another second, Ngozi ran straight home and met their mother in the compound. Mama, do you know what I just saw? What is it? I saw Adama in the forest, laughing and talking with village men, different men, shamelessly, like a prostitute. Are you sure of what you are saying? She asked. I swear on my life, Mama. This girl is following men up and down, using her beauty to disgrace this family. When Adama finally returned home, her body tired and her hands aching from the heavy firewood, she met the sight of her stepmother and Ngozi waiting in the compound. Adama, her stepmother shouted, where are you coming from? Auntie, Adama answered calmly. I went to the forest to fetch firewood. Liar, Ngozi screamed. I saw you with village men, laughing and following them around like a shameless girl. Mama, I told you, this one is a prostitute. Auntie, Ngozi is lying. A man only stopped me to ask my name, nothing more. You hear that, Mama? That's how it starts, using her beauty to follow different men. Adama, where exactly are you coming from? She demanded. If you do not answer me properly, you will not like what I will do to you. I didn't go anywhere else, Adama replied. I only went to the forest. Useless child, just like your mother. Get out of my sight before I do something terrible to you. She pointed angrily at the dirty clothes piled beside the hut. And before you disappear, wash all the dirty clothes, every single one of them, including Ngozi's own. I don't want to see a single stain. Adama swallowed her tears. She bent her head. Okay, Auntie, she said.
Go to the river and fetch water from the village stream.
Aunt, please. Today is the forbidden day. The elders warned everyone. No one is allowed to go to the village stream. They said spirits rise from the water. People who go there hardly come out alive.
And how is that my business, you foolish girl? We fear cook food for this house. Will spirits sweep the floor? Pick that pot and go. And listen carefully. If you come back late, no food for you tonight.
How dare you come into the forbidden river? Are you not afraid, child?
Please, my stepmother sent me here. I begged her not to send me. I told her today is forbidden, but she refused to listen.
Humans always lie when they are afraid. Every year, one of your kind disobeys the warning. Every year, the river must take a life.
I am not lying. I have no mother. She died when I was small. My stepmother hates me. She gives me the hardest work and little food. If I return without water, she would starve me.